In Romans chapter 8 and verse 2, it says, "For the law of the Spirit of life in Christ has set me free from the law of sin and death." Right? I used to think, now, what is that? What is that law? What is that law and how does it work? For the law of the Spirit of life in Christ has made me free from the law of sin and death. So, for years I pondered that. I knew there was a much deeper meaning to it, but, there wasn't a lot of revelation. The law of the Spirit of life. What is the law? How does it operate? First, Jesus is the Spirit of life, right? That's clear. So how does this law operate? How does it work? It works this way. Everything that touches him receives life. And everything he touches receives life. You remember the woman who came, touched the hem of his garment? And you touch the Lord. If you pick up a live wire that's connected to electricity, you're going to have an impartation. Okay? See, Jesus came to this woman and she just touched the hem of his garment. And there was a flow. Everything he touches imparts life. And everything that he touches, when we touch him, everything that touches him and everything he touches, this is the law of the Spirit of life. And there's another law that goes along with this that I was shown and taught very clearly. Only what you are aware of is real to you. Only what you are aware of is real to you. You're aware of this room, right? Because you're aware of it, so it's real to you, right? But there's another realm here as well. There are other people in this room that you're not seeing right now. So it's not real to you. Only what you are aware of is real to you. I pondered on that for a whole 12 months, It's true in the natural, it's true in the spiritual. It's also true in the law of quantum physics. And I pondered on this and I thought about it. The awareness of the presence of the Lord is essential to the release of God's life. So, this is the law of the Spirit of life that sets you free from the law of sin and also death. And that is not spiritual death. It is that, but it's physical. The reason our bodies decay is because of sin, hidden or otherwise, or unknown within us. We decay. When Adam sinned, he began to decay. If he hadn't sinned, he would have lived forever. Right? But the introduction of sin set up a situation in his physical body. But because sin didn't have a great root in him, he lived for hundreds of years still. But as sin expanded in the earth and the hereditary problems that were passed down from one generation shortened out the lifespan of man. And so, the law of sin and death. Enoch, would still be alive today if God had not taken him. The Apostle John, they boiled him in oil. He was so full of life, he came out praising God, saying, "Hi, folks." So they banished him. They didn't know what to do with him, so they banished him to the Isle Patmos, which was an isle that was set aside for the insane, criminally insane. So they put John on that island. And here he is in the Lord's Day, worshiping God in spirit. And John had something different to the others. He was different to all the others, the other disciples. John 13, somebody touched it when I was preaching. I don't know if it was Joe, someone else, but it's John 13:23. Now there was one leaning on the bosom of Jesus, one of his disciples, whom Jesus loved. Well, does that mean Jesus didn't love the other disciples? See? And again, John 21:20, and Peter, turning about, seeth the disciple whom Jesus loved. So they all knew that this was the disciple whom Jesus loved. Now, and so, Jesus was commissioning his disciples. Peter gets his foot into it again. And in John 21:21, he says, Peter said to Jesus, "What shall this man do?" Which was John. And Peter said, the Lord said, Peter, it's none of your business, And that's what the Lord was really saying back. It's none of your business what this man will do. But Jesus said unto him, if I will that he tarry till I come, return back to the earth, what is that to you? So then went out the saying abroad among the brethren that the disciple John should not die. So yet Jesus said unto him, should not die. Yet Jesus said not unto him, he should not die. But what if he tarried till I come? What is that to you? Actually, John never died. Never died. Don't look at me stunned. A lot of saints out there never died. He never died. He had so much life in him. He remains. He's one of those who remain. They never found his grave. There's no record of his death. It was a real mystery, John was. I've met him many times, I tell you. He was a disciple Jesus loved to such a degree that the life in him was so great he could never die. Just like Enoch. He loved the presence. He loved the presence. John was the last of the apostles. When John was, being escorted through heaven by one of the Old Testament saints and showing him around heaven in the book of Revelation, Jerusalem didn't exist anymore. It had already been destroyed. Peter was dead. Paul was dead. All were dead. He was the last guy left. Jerusalem had gone. There is a prophetic significance in the deaths of the apostles. But we haven't got time for that this morning. But John was the last, And for many years, there's been an emphasis on, the epistles, and particularly Paul's epistles, and that's good, and there'll always be an emphasis. But there's been a neglect on John's epistle and John's writings. He was the last to go. And this is the truth which John portrayed in his epistles, is that end-time church has to get a hold of. Because there are secrets there, There are secrets in his writing. There are keys. The secret of John's relationship with the Lord,